everything about me was just a bad news until I came here.
Yeah.
And then there was a great turnaround.
You are welcome to World Redemption Power Ministries.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's service.
It's great. It was great.
God.
Wonderful, as usual.
Yes. So can you briefly tell us your name?
My name is Alfred Degajo.
Madam Alfred, thank you so much for joining us once again. So
It's
can
a
you tell
pleasure.
us briefly who Prophet Peter Kojo Sagoe is to you?
Prophet Peter Sagoe he's a father. I identify him with holiness, integrity, power of God, and many more that time will not allow me to mention.
I understand.
But he is a representation of the wisdom of God, because he doesn't do anything without hearing from the Lord. That is how I identify him.
Sure. So what was the state of your life before you joined this great ministry? Can you briefly give us an explanation?
Yes, please. A whole lot of them. My life was in shambles. It was a terrible sight. And so I sat down one day and said that it was a dangerous time to just go looking for anywhere else to fellowship. And so I narrowed it down to the power of God, pleading with God to actually direct me to where I need to fellowship. And so looking at even where I am coming from to fellowship from here should tell you that it was purely God's direction.
Yes.
And my staying is not in vain. That should tell you the kind of things I benefit from the altar of this father of faith.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I thank God for your life. So can you tell us how many years have you joined this ministry?
I am in my third year and more, almost 4 years.
4
Yes, please.
years. So
Yes, please.
during this 4-year period, can you tell us what God has done for you?
A lot, so much. Normally, for the past years, before I came here, subtracting the 3 to 4 years that I've been here, of all those times that I was where I came from, during this month of September, there are attacks, so terrible attacks that normally wants to take my life. In dreams, in prophecies. I remember where I was fellowshipping before. The pastors of my church were twin brothers. And when time came for them to go out to preach at other churches, you won't believe this, but when they meet at other churches to actually preach to others, other pastors will come to them and tell them that their daughter wasn't going to make it this year. It was such a terrible one.
Wow.
There was an attack here and there on my life. They wanted to take my life. So I was falling sick every now and then. There was a time some couples came to our church, and then I think one of them was a medical doctor, and then they called me and said that there were some symptoms they saw, and that they were actually going to flog me if I allow myself to die. And so the spirit of death was always hovering around. Apart from that, there was an attack on my job. I lost my job. My finances was terrible. Everything about me was just a bad news until I came here.
Yeah.
And then there was a great turnaround. I gave a testimony to one of Papa's son last year, and I told him that ever since I stepped into this auditorium, what is called sickness, when the devil roars and then maybe my power is too light, I just have to appear at the altar of my father, and then it's dropped at the altar. That should actually tell you the kind of person we are dealing with.
Yeah.
Break every yoke. Bring matches. disconnected. This spirit of convulsion, out. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. All right. Thank you.
I am not praising him as a person, but I am talking about his discipline in waiting before our God, and for him to be impacted, for us also to receive from his grace.
Wow. We thank God for such a great deliverance in your life, and we hope you continue to come to church and invite someone else to join us in this great ministry. Thank you so much, Madam Elfred, and do have a nice day.
Thank you. I haven't mentioned the beautiful wife who is so calm, so welcoming. He himself so accommodating. He's a disciplinarian. And I want to mention that the kind of disciplined person he is actually drives us also to actually follow his footsteps of holiness. And it's so challenging. I made a comment some time back that each and every day that he preaches is a time to actually reconcile with yourself. How does that happen? You actually go back to ask yourself, what are you doing with the teachings that you're receiving from this holy man of God? And so I look forward every now and then. Sundays at elsewhere may be a nuisance, but I look forward every now and then to Sundays and Wednesdays. And there's nowhere else I want to be. I actually appreciate the reminder that I need to be able to evangelize and bring more people to benefit from this grace. It's a great one.
Exactly. Thank you so much for sharing your testimony. Do have a nice day.
Thank you.
Goodbye.